Guys, I'm back. Sorry, that was a little bit embarrassing, but yeah, obviously you cannot plan with some people. So my dryer was being repaired because the belt got destroyed, and they were supposed to return that dryer yesterday. Then they were supposed to return the dryer today before 4 because I had an appointment after 4:30. But yeah, they just show up now. And of course, I had to test if the dryer was working and then pay them. So yeah, we're back. And the topic for today is when friends visit, expectations versus reality. And I was giving some examples about what I'd seen or experienced and the ghosting that I've experienced going to visit friends in other cities. So we've done Germany. The next ghosting, this one, we met these guys on holiday and they invited us to their country and they told us all the nice spots they will show us when we come to their country. And they kept asking us to visit their country. And so at some point it was attractive. So we're like, yeah, why not? So we pinged all of them like more than a month ahead to say, okay, we'll be in your city. Can you recommend for us the best place to stay? You know, you want to avoid traffic. You want to be close to things and all of that. So they were very helpful. These ones didn't ghost us in terms of communication. They ghosted us in terms of, they didn't see us at all. So all along the planning, what shall we do? What shall we do? Even when we got into the country, oh, I want to eat this. What's the best place? They'll send you like a recommendation. We stayed in touch throughout, getting recommendations and doing activities. But each time they agreed to meet us somewhere, they never showed up. So we spent a week in that city and we didn't see any of them. So that was a little bit disappointing. Then the third ghosting. I told this, my friend, I told her I was going to come to her city, that I would like to see her, have a coffee with her or whatever. She agreed. We really spoke about it at length to fix it. So she recommended hotel. I booked it. We had a lot of discussions. And then the day before I was supposed to arrive in her city, she told me that she might not be in town, but she would arrive the day before I leave and that she would see me that night before I leave. So I arrived. I didn't see her. The day she said she would arrive, she also didn't communicate with me at all. So I also left the city. I didn't see her at all. And then there was another time that I was going to a city with my sister and her friend was going to host her. And I wanted to go to a hotel, but she asked her friend if we could stay in her house. And the friend said yes. And then a few days before our trip, she said that a work thing had come up and she'll be out of town. I just booked a hotel. So, and then I'd gone, sometimes there are different reasons why people ghost. For example, I'd gone to a city that an uncle of mine lives there and I haven't seen him in many years. And I just wanted to see him, see his children, nothing special. Why are you laughing? I wanted to see him, but he said to me that, where he lives is embarrassing. He doesn't want me to see it. I thought it was a joke. He wasn't joking, but he didn't ghost me. He came to me with the children. We had a nice meal. We chatted, but they just didn't let me see where they lived. That one happened. And then I had another uncle in another city. And I got there. He was so pleased that I remembered him. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. But because I was visiting his city and I called him, I actually had to call his brother I was in touch with to give me his number. He was so pleased that I remembered him. I wanted to see him. I arrived. His wife had cooked up a feast. As I arrived and sat down, they were telling me, I should manage them. Their house is not that nice. Their carpet is this, this is that. But if you see the pepper soup they cooked I just sat down there, we were chatting. It was very sweet. So, especially for family members, anyhow you are, your family is your family. And if they make out time, come to your city and want to see you, I think you should see them. whether it's in your home or outside. And this kind of depends on how close you are and all this kind of thing. So this was some of my experience. And then when I say setting boundaries, you have to be very clear. Like when I went to Curacao, because I was going to several other islands, I went to Bonaire and Aruba and Panama in that trip. And I was also flying out from Curacao. So I had the option to carry my big luggage for all the flights I was hopping and pay luggage. Then I remembered that we had a friend. We had worked with him in an old job who lived in Curacao, that had retired to Curacao. So I contacted him. I wanted to meet them for a coffee. I wanted to have a chat with them. But I also asked, when I leave Curacao, can I drop my suitcase in your house and just take my backpack on my island hopping? Then when I come back into Curacao, I will carry my suitcase. So what did I do? I was very clear. I want to meet you guys for a coffee or dinner. I want to drop my suitcase with you guys, and I will be back on this date to carry it. So when I arrived in their city, I went to my hotel. We agreed the day that I'll drop the suitcase. We had dinner on that day. I dropped the suitcase, and then I retrieved the suitcase when I came back. So be very clear with what's so this is my own experience going to other people's cities, and just some stories, just so that you understand why we're having this conversation. And I'm sure that those of you who live in Dubai, Doha, London, and co can identify with what I'm saying, especially Canada these days. Someone you're chatting with has applied for PR. They have gotten their residency. You're chatting with them all the time. They haven't told you. They're not telling you, I'm coming to your city. But what they haven't told you is that they're going to land from your house, which means they've come in as permanent residents. They want to house hunt from your house. They want to job hunt from your house. So they're just going to camp in your house for an unspecified amount of time. And this is not fair. So it's always better to be very clear, very honest, and also make sure you understand the objective of the person visiting your city to decide whether they should be in your house at all. So now let me give you some gist about me hosting. One of my, first of all, hosting. I lived on Bonny Island in Nigeria in my parents' home. So obviously, when I had guests, because Bonny was an interesting place and a lot of people wanted to come, but you have to obey the house rules of my parents, which means they were not that strict though, like curfew and co, but it's expected that if I'm home, you should be home, which means if we go out in the night, for example, and I come back, it's not expected that you, my guest, should still be out and those kind of things. So if you can obey the house rules, it was usually fine for me to have guests in my house, in my parents' house. And then in Dubai, I remember one of the first hosts, one of my friends that I hosted in the early days, and it was a really difficult period in our home, because we were going through fertility treatment. And it was one of these girls that talks a lot. She's sweet, we're friends, but she just, something she can't help. Gist, we call it gist, gossip. And at the time, I was feeling ashamed that I was doing IVF. And it was in the middle of a cycle. So, the injection was in my fridge. And I remember saying to my husband, this girl will soon open the fridge, understand what this medicine is, and go blabbing about it. And I don't want that. And she was like, if you think like this, why is this person in our house? So these are some of the things. So you should also understand when you should let someone be in your home. Like, because of all the miscarriages that I had never posted a pregnant picture while pregnant. Most of my pregnant pictures are posted after the pregnancy. So there are people that if you call me, you're in my city and I'm pregnant, I won't see you. I'll just tell you we're busy or we're not available, because I know that you will start, because of experience, I didn't want too many people to now be asking me if baby has been born, in case that baby is not born, So when I was pregnant, if we're not that close, if you come to my city and call me or send me a message that you're coming, it's likely that I would not see you. So And then some of you, especially in early stage of marriage where things are very turbulent and you're likely to fight, it's not a very good time to have your old friends coming to stay in your house, because this gist that they will carry might not be the way things are. And people tend to exaggerate. So you have to be careful. This kind of thing. So, and some people are just using you as an alibi. They're not staying in your house. They pretend they're staying with you. Maybe usually like a father, a husband, a boyfriend is calling. So each time they keep showing the video call in your face. Hi, remember that my friend? She's living here with her husband and children. That kind of thing. But really, they're not staying in your house. They're showing up from every now and again, and you're not really sure what they're in town for, but they're pretending to stay with you. So this kind of people, you should be very cautious when people want to use your address, because sometimes some countries like Germany, sometimes they want to know exactly where you're staying when you enter, and sometimes they give your address and you don't even know what the person is doing in the country, and they're not staying with you. So you should be very careful who uses your address, especially to cross the border to get into the country, because you never know what they're there for or what will happen. And when they start looking for you to question you. So please just be careful who uses your address to get into the country, especially if they're not staying with you. And then there are some people that are in town with somebody who they cannot tell you for different reasons. Sometimes it's a relationship that is going nowhere and they don't want you to remember it. It's just, some friend, some relationship, they know it's not going to work, but they're still chopping. So they don't want you to meet that person. Sometimes they're on holiday with someone very married and they don't want you to know about it. And obviously, such people will not accompany them for activities. So you know they're in town with somebody. You will never know who they're in town with, but they want you to tag along for every activity. So they kind of pretend you're in town with them, like they traveled with you. So they want to drag you for their tours. But some of these people, because they have a sponsor, they will pay for the activities that are dragging you about. So it's not always unpleasant. And then there are the chronic freeloaders. They arrive, they want to do a bunch of things, but they want you to pay for it. They want to eat in fancy restaurants, they want you to pay for it. This type, when they arrive, their card never works internationally anymore. They never have enough cash. They complain about the exchange rate and they keep sponging off you. So you need to be careful. And sometimes when dealing with people, especially those you've gone to high school with or university, you need to think, what do I remember about this person? Because some people, you knew them as children, but you don't know them as adults. So you need to think about it carefully. Why am I hosting this person? And then set boundaries. There are people that shouldn't be in your home. There are people that you just meet them for a coffee, catch up briefly, and keep it moving. And then there are some people, they arrive, they don't have enough clothes, they never do, they want to go somewhere, you lend them an outfit, and they take your clothes home. I've had this a few times. They just take my clothes. Some, they just want you, they hate international food. They know you're in that city, so they've already marked that they'll eat rice and stew here, they'll eat jollof here, they'll eat egusi. Some are honest, some are not. Some will pretend they've missed you, they want to see you, but it's about, what are you cooking? Then they will come intermittently and eat food in your house and continue whatever they came to the city for. Some are there for a conference, some are there for trading, like Dubai time. They come for all kinds of businesses and they'll just come and be eating in your house back to back or something like that. So you just need to understand, what am I doing in this relationship and is it what I have signed up for, right? And then there was a lady, I went to boarding school with her. I hadn't seen her for maybe 15 solid years at the time she came to Dubai. And she had called me. She had twins. Oh, I would love to see them, blah, 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 blah. So we had agreed that she was going to come that evening. And my Dubai days, my husband used to work in Iraq. So he was gone the whole week. He came home on Thursdays and left Sunday morning. So I was usually alone all week. So I agreed to see her. She wasn't planning to stay with me or anything, but she was just supposed to come, see the kids, chat with me, and leave. So 7 o'clock became 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock became 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock became 10 o'clock. Then I think somewhere around 10:30, she showed up. I should have gone to bed. I had 6-month-old twins who were sleeping, but I waited up because she said she was coming. She showed up, we start to chat, and then her phone keeps buzzing. She keeps typing, and it looks like she was supposed to meet somebody. And I think she actually came to my house to kill time until whoever. So they kept chatting, and then I brought out wine. Oh, let's drink some wine and chat. And then all of a sudden, she said she wasn't in my house for up to 10 minutes. And then she had to go because whoever was now available, and I should not open the wine. But what shocked me the most was that she now took the bottle, that she would take the wine along. So she took the bottle of wine, put it in her big handbag, and left. It shocked me endlessly. Like, I just remember sitting there feeling a little annoyed that I could have slept 2 hours and that I knew my babies were going to wake up at some point and I didn't sleep. You're laughing. Now that I can laugh about it, but I just thought, and then the people who bring strangers to your home, like there are people that maybe you went to school with and you know other people with in town with them. Like there was a time that there's this lady, I went to boarding school with her. So we were not that close, but I knew her. And then she had called me to say that we became close after this trip actually. So she told me she was coming to Dubai for a wedding. And she was asking for hotel recommendations and that kind of thing. But she had a baby. And there was a time that I really wanted a baby. So I said to her, have a guest room, come and stay in my house because I just wanted a baby in the house. And so while she was in my house, there were some other people that had gone to boarding school with that. She was closer to than I was. So, of course, they came to visit her. But there were people I knew coming to my house with their spouses. So, of course, the spouses of my friends are welcome if my friends are at my house. So it was comfortable. It was very nice, talking about good old days. But sometimes you just have someone who has just a lot of village people in your city and they're staying in your house. And then they call everybody and they start coming. And sometimes they don't speak the same language with you. They're in your house chatting, drinking your booze. And, you know, they're just sitting in your house. And sometimes they're not sensitive. You want to sleep. You don't really want to go to bed because there are people who you don't know in your living room. So as a guest, you should be more sensitive and, you know, this kind of things. You should just be more sensitive. So these are some of, so some of these things just keep happening. And I just wanted to have this discussion with you so that it's something that you can think about. Did she come with a gift? No, she didn't. No, she didn't come with a gift and she took my wine. So basically, when they call you, I'm coming to your city. Set the boundary. Understand, what are they in the city for? Am I in the mood to do kabu kabu? Am I in the mood to take them around? Am I in the mood to go to all these places I've been going to? You know, am I in the mood to be financially, like, for example, if I tell someone to come and visit me, come to my house, come and be my guest, then I am responsible for your food, for your tour. Any Instagrammable picture you want to take, I will make it. Like, if I tell you now, come to me to Doha, come to my house, then when you land, I will collect you from the airport. I will show you, like, the city. We will have fun and you will leave. But if you, and then most times now, because I'm so busy, I have 5 kids. If you are already in the country, like you booked a ticket, you went to the airport, you flew the plane, you arrived in the city, before now telling me you're in my city. Generally, I don't think you're very serious. And if I'm busy, I won't see you at all. So, but if you tell me up front, I can plan, I can move things around and see you. So the busier I am, obviously, how do you feel when you invite people and they want to do their own thing, not spending time with you? Oh yeah, this is also a very interesting one. So if I invite you, which means I wanted to spend time with you, and then you arrive and you have a bunch of other girlfriends that you want to hang out with and do stuff, it's not really fair, because you should stay with the people that you want to do stuff with. But in a way, I get it, right? Just be honest. Like, okay, I'm in town, because especially sometimes this kind of scenario happens, married people versus unmarried people. Like, I had a girl, she came to my house. She was a friend who'd been close, and she was just bitching, oh, I want to go to club, but will your husband even allow you come? I said, I club pass you, but okay. So they have all these things that now that you're responsibly married, that you might not want to do some things. So they want to do it with the people who are, single and free. So sometimes that's what happens. They show up and they want to do some things with you. And some people are secretive. They have their own runs. That there are things they don't want you to know. Some people act like you're their village person. So there's a business they want to do, but they want to protect their contacts. So they don't want you to know what they're doing. So they will generally dodge you. I've had this there was a friend, that one really upset me, because normally when she comes to Dubai, then she stays in my house. And then on this particular occasion, after I had my kids, maybe she felt my house will not be noisy because the kids are there, blah, whatever. But she arrived and booked a hotel. Normally she stays with me. She booked a hotel. She went to the hotel, and then she was hanging out with some other ladies in town. But when she's hungry, she'll come to my house and eat. And this happened for like 3 days. And because I knew she was coming, I'd even bought a new mattress. Like, I changed the mattress in our guest room, because normally she comes. So I expected her to stay with me. I bought a new mattress. And it was when she was in country that she told me she had a hotel. When I was asking her, what time should I pick you from the airport, that she told me she was already in her hotel. So people are strange. And, just set boundary, protect yourself. And when they show you Pepe, just take yourself back. I mean, we can't cut off everybody. There are some people who are still worth redeeming the relationship, that you can sit down and say, this is what was hurtful. This is what you did. This is what I didn't like. And there are some people you don't even bother. Like me, personally, I've gotten too old to be looking for whose house to stay in, up and down. So I don't even like Airbnb. I like hotel. I like having someone in the front desk. I like calling, give me iron. Like in Igbo, they say someone passes, don't be silly sometimes. There's a stage, like I've done squatting when I was in school. These days, if I can't afford to stay in a hotel in a city, it's likely that I'll wait till I can, Like I have a friend in Myanmar. I say she's my big sister. She moved to Myanmar a few years ago. They had a big house. So I've been teasing her that when I come to Myanmar, it will be one of these countries that won't need hotel, because I'll stay in her house, right? But then they had problems with the landlord. A few things happened. So they moved out of the big house and moved into an apartment. And she has 4 kids. So obviously, there's no space. So I'm not going to put her in a tight spot and start saying, can I stay with you? So obviously now, if I go to Myanmar, I will book a hotel. So you have to sometimes use your brain before putting people in a difficult situation. And then you see this, your friends who are married with men that can be trusted with your sister, their co-workers, their domestic staff. Those men that there's always story around. Don't stay in their house, because their abuse and their misbehavior sometimes also affects their wives. You don't want to go stay with your friends, family, and end up being labeled a husband snatcher or one of these stupid things that happen. So if the spouse of your friend is not normal, don't stay in their house. Just set boundaries. Set boundaries. Beware of exploitation. All these people that come, make you buy everything, pay everything, you pick them from the airport, you drop them from the airport, blah, blah, blah. Be careful. I've also personally had a situation where Someone asked if they could come to my house. I said, okay. They arrived in the night. They had a shower and came out looking all white. I said, what's going on? Calamine lotion. Sorry, I have chicken pox. And you did not disclose it. Luckily, I'm immune to chicken pox because I think I've had it. But it's something that you should tell me because it could be someone else in my house that you can infect. So, so I'm talking for both sides, whether you're the one going or the one hosting, right? Whether you're shouting what and co, but people know what I'm saying. People who live in Lagos know, because each time someone is traveling international, especially those of you living in Ikeja, people they collect now. They will arrive and stay in your house and fly out. When they fly in, they stay in your house and go. Perfume, they will not buy. Chocolate, they will not buy. You know. Ikeja people, am I speaking to you? I think they're one of the people who suffer the most abuse in Nigeria because the airport is in Ikeja. London people can identify. Toronto people know what I'm talking about. Dubai people know what I'm talking about. Doha people know what I'm talking about. So I think New York people know what I'm talking about. Because these are cities that get a lot of guests, a lot of conferences, people go shopping for their businesses and all kinds of things. And you just get exploited along the way. So yes. So basically, my note of caution today is for you that you're the host, set boundaries, ask questions. So you explain to them that, my children sleep at this time, so you can't ring the bell after this time, so that they will know. Be careful who uses your address, especially to come in for immigration. Just be careful, because when anything goes wrong, they will come to you to ask. So be careful who uses your address. Beware of exploitations and ask. Oh, with the restrictions on Nigeria, yes. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so someone is replying UK. Okay, so I've told you what I'm going to say about the hosts. For the guest, please be considerate. Put yourself in their shoes. Understand that, especially if the person doesn't live alone, understand that the noise that you're making and the extra guests you're having in the house, and even your habits. Like a friend of mine had a big fight with her husband because of her house guest. Her friend came. The husband is a neat freak. This kind of people that can't have anything out of place. And this woman was brushing her wig. There was hair all over her bathroom floor, all over the kitchen and the toilet sink and everything. And she won't sweep, she won't clean it. So it was really, really annoying the man. So people have to be considerate. You have to keep the house clean. You have to read the room. You have to understand where you are and just follow the rules. Just follow the rule. Be respectful. People are hosting you. So just try not to make it awkward for your host. I have woken up before and my liquor cabinet was empty. Like, these people had this guest come over, and they were not leaving. And I had young kids that would wake up. So I went to bed and they just helped themselves to the liquor cabinets. And imagine Dubai. Okay, now alcohol is easier, but then you have to go to that place in Ras Al Khaimah to buy it. And then you stock it and someone will just drink through your liquor cabinet. So just be considerate, be careful. Yes, that is true. So, so this is just what I just wanted to discuss today, so that all of us get thinking about how we behave, set our expectations right, communicate correctly, accurately. Like when you're coming to somebody, just tell them, this is what I'm coming for. This is how long I'm going to stay. Can I stay in your house? I have this conference. I leave at this time. I come back at this time. And then you make sure it's convenient. And also you need to remember that your holiday is somebody's real life, right? Because you're in Dubai and you want to be doing one or two things does not mean that the person you're visiting does not have a job or her children are not in school. Like my children are in 3 schools across Doha. So it cost me an hour and a half in the morning to drop everybody. We leave this house 6:30. I don't get home till past 8. Also an hour and a half in the afternoon to pick everybody. I leave the house 12:15. I don't get back till past 2. So you have to consider that they're not going to be at your beck and call because you're holidaying in their city. So you need to be very considerate, and it's always a good idea to take a gift to someone who is hosting you, especially when they have young kids. I mean, chocolate is still sold at the airport, right? Just little things. Do we not have home training anymore? Yeah, do I think a guest should always bring a gift? Not all the time, but it's nice. It's nice to do. It's nice to do, especially if they're going to be staying in your house, using your utilities and eating your food. Bringing chocolates, or if they're coming from Niger, for example, bring suya. You know what your friends like. Just something local, even if it's just bring something. I think it's good manners. I think so. So that is it for today. I hope that we have learned something, that we are going to reflect on our old behavior, that we're going to reflect on our old behavior, that we will ask people who have hurt for forgiveness, and that we're going to forgive people who have hurt us and decide whether, yes, I like suya. So if someone comes from Niger and brings suya, then I'll open champagne, Okay, so I'm going to go, and I will see you guys next week, Thursday. Love you. Have a good weekend. Bye.